Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. Today I wanted to share with you some cards that I'm making using up scraps of today I'm using the Tidings of Christmas Designer Series paper. I find especially when we have 6x6 Designer Series paper, I wind up with a lot of scraps when I'm making my cards. And some of them are really useful sizes of scraps, and some of them are really little strips. So I've been coming up with ways of using them because, you know, to throw all this away would be really wasteful. For this DSP, because I've done so many cards because of a class I've been running for several months, I separated them out into different packs by pattern. I don't usually do that. I usually just keep it all in a manila envelope, but that's what I felt was a good additional step for this paper at this time. So you can use this with this layout, this concept with any Designer Series paper. I'm just featuring a couple different patterns of this Tidings of Christmas Designer Series paper today. And so I've got 3 different cards prepped that I will make for you today. This one I'm using a cherry cobbler base, and this paper has pine boughs and holly leaves and berries and pine cones. So I've pulled out, this is a pine bough actually from Poinsettia Petals, and I've also pulled out these little holly leaves from Banner Year, because I'm going to start by stamping tone on tone on this background page. And we used to do this a lot, and then we haven't done it for a long time, and now it seems to be making a comeback, which is fun. So I'm just going to stamp kind of randomly around on the page. You could do this with Versamark, because the Versamark will just darken the page and do a tone on tone as well. Hello Gladys and Roseanne and Paula, thanks for joining me. Yes, Paula, you hear him with one of his newer toys. It's a hard chew toy, and it's got little holes or divots in it that let me spread something yummy in it. And right now we're doing plain Greek yogurt, and then I froze it overnight. So he's licking and chewing and occupied for a while with that. So and Banner Year also has some holly berries that I could add on, but since it's really just doing some background, I'm not going to worry about that. Do one more there. Okay, I think that's enough. I'm going to clean this off a little bit. Photopolymer, it stains. That's just really how it is. Once you get all of the actual ink off, it'll be stained, but it won't transfer anymore. So that's just how it is. So I've got 4 strips of designer series paper and 4 strips of cardstock, and I'm just going to mount them up. If you're working in centimeters, the designer series paper is 7.5 by 2.5, and this is 8 by 3. I did not work out inches because how many strips you want and how wide they need to be. I mean, the card base is different in inches as well, so I will let you work that out yourself if you're working in inches. But I did see an example of this that had been done in inches. I'm not sure they had measurements, but they only, because letter size cardstock makes shorter and wider cards, they were only able to do, or they only chose to do 3 strips. But I thought when I was doing our long and lean cards by comparison, that 4 looked nice. So you do, when you're cutting your designer series paper, have to pay attention. Some have more of an oriented pattern than others. This one's pretty random, and the other side is definitely more random. But I've got one over here where I had cut 1 strip and realized the pattern was oriented wrong, so I cut another one. I'll point that out when we get to it. Once you get into a rhythm, these are pretty quick and easy to make too. So make sure these are all what I think of as oriented correctly. And that's kind of a strip by strip thing. Like if I see a bow that's going upside down pretty predominantly, I might change how it's going. Okay, so then we just glue these on, and I'm going try to get it centered left to right and work it out so that I can mostly get them evenly spaced. And I do find if I go top and bottom first, then I can evenly space the 2 middle ones. And it reads correctly, whether it's super accurate or not. So there's that part. And I'm going to add a sentiment on there. I just need to figure out which sentiment. I only got so far. I'm going to do it in Cherry Cobbler. And I'm stamping it here on some basic white. And I'm using a retired punch. This is a 1 1/4 inch punch. Your layering circles dies will absolutely work for this. I find punches really quick and easy. So I'm taking the very easy way out. And I think I want to add some ribbon. The question is, which one? And how? Really, sticky tape, quick and easy. As long as you don't place it the wrong way. And let's get a little bit of dimensional going in here. There we go, there's one. I think that's a perfectly lovely card out of scraps. So there's one. We're gonna do another one here. This is the one that I felt had an orientation with the patterns going this way as opposed to this way. And it seems pretty random until you get 3 doing one thing and 1 doing something else. So that's why I cut another one last night. And let's do some stamping in the background. Again, Sahara Sand cardstock, Sahara Sand ink. And this time I have the matching leaf from the Tidings and Trimmings. I went ahead with that one. And I think I'm going to look for, this one has some dots in it. Let me be right back. I'm sure I've got one that's got some dots in it. Oh, come on. There we go. Also has some pluses. There are some pluses. So we'll do that. That is out of Biggest Wish. That's going to be good. Okay. Mounted on 2. Okay, and we'll fill in. Is interesting because you don't think it's going to make that much difference to have these little bits in, but they do. Okay, here we go. Again, I think that's good because it really is just background. And glue, glue, glue. I don't know if you guys saw, we did a really cool day trip on Sunday. Our day of constant motion. We got up, had breakfast, took two trams to get to the ferry. I went across Port Phillip Bay to a small town called Port Arlington. And from there we hopped right onto a small motor coach that took us and a bunch of other people about 25 minutes down the road to a town called Queenscliff, where we hopped on an old train that had been refurbished to be a restaurant, and we took off and drove. So these are all towns on what's called the Bellarine Peninsula over on the west side of Port Phillip Bay, and we took off across the peninsula. Took a couple hours, hour and a half, I don't know. Anyway, we had what, a 5-course meal, 3 courses on the way there, 2 on the way back. We got across the peninsula to Daylesford, I believe it was called. Oh, I usually do the top one, don't I? Didn't I say that? Yes. We'll probably see why in just a moment here. We watched they don't always run a steam locomotive, but they did the Sunday we were on there. And so when we got to the end of the line, they unhooked it and drove it up to the front of the train, and on the way refilled it with water to make steam. And yeah, I had better luck when I did the top and the bottom first, so now you see exactly why I usually do that. And then hooked it up to the front of the train, and we went back to we reversed the whole thing. So now, do we do that one or we do the darker one? I kind of like the tone on tone. Let's figure out our sentiment. I might just do the same one again. I'm trying to decide which color. It was a really nice trip, Roseanne. It was the first time we'd been out of Melbourne itself. I want to say since March, yeah. Probably since I got back from the U.S. in February of 2020. And, you know, for Glenn, it'd been longer than that because he didn't go to the U.S. with me. Keep doing all the same tone. We're gonna just looking to see what my options are here real fast. Maybe we'll add a little bit of shimmer. Oh, my fingers aren't working. Here we go. Yeah, I know. I need to put that on. Yeah, the trip itself was good. I mean, we like transport, so we like all the different modes of transportation. Very modern ferry, very old restored trains, and the trams that are somewhere in between. And you know we like food, and that was really good. They had one little oopsie. One of our courses was served on risotto, and the risotto was not cooked through. It's like, oh, they need an electric pressure cooker like I've got. Cooks risotto in no time. But that was the one, all the flavors were really good. So you could add more bling to stuff if you wanted. I got one more. I want to stay tuned for it. Here's one more of the Designer Series paper designs and different color on the back. And let's see here. What was I gonna stamp on this one? Oh, this one's got leaves and holly and There's the holly. No, there we go. And there's the sprig with the little berries on it. So I got 3 things going on this one. And again, I'm going to do this one with Versamark. I keep talking about being able to do tone on tone with Versamark, so I'm going to show you that with this one, I believe, and you will see it's a little more faint, a little more subtle. That's okay. If I hold it the right angle, maybe you'll be able to, there you go, now you can see it. Yep. Some leaves. So the rule of thumb when you're sort of stamping, not sort of, when you are stamping randomly is to start with your largest image and work your way down to fill in. Again, because this really takes, you know, is truly in the background as these things go. I'm not looking for perfection. Looking to add a little bit of texture and interest as we go. That aside for a moment. Once again, glue these up. And I can see, I think everybody on here at the moment is American, so I'm going to ask about Thanksgiving plans. Whoops, that one's not cut the right length at all. Okay, let's trim these to the right length. I'll go first. We are doing family Thanksgiving Friday evening here because, you know, Thursday's a work day here, and not only that, Glenn has a work-related dinner Thursday night, and then on Saturday we are joining. That will come out and I can clean the sticky off of it. We are joining American faculty at a colleague's house for a, I guess you'd call it a Friendsgiving, which should be fun. Our host is providing a turkey and all of us are bringing other things to go with our feast. And it's always interesting. We've done this several years. We were even able to do it last year. We were actually out of lockdown in December to do a belated Thanksgiving. And we are just fortunate that turkey is a Christmas tradition here, and they start stocking the turkeys early. So because it's hard to find turkey other times of the year. So I've already got one extra turkey in my freezer, and I'll probably get another one to hopefully stick in Nicole's freezer. I can get small turkeys here. What, 3 kilos, which is about 7 pounds? And that's just right for the 4 of us with lots of leftovers. And there are times in the winter when I'd like to just roast up a turkey instead of chicken. And it's not the right season here for turkey in the winter. So you can't get it at the supermarket. You can probably get it through a specialty butcher if you pre-order it. The turkey's so cheap in the US, and it's not here. So yeah, this year I'm doing a little planning ahead and stocking 1 or 2 little ones in a freezer. So yeah, I know a lot of people prefer chicken over turkey. I cook a lot of roast chicken, as you probably see on my Facebook, and just every once in a while I like to have the turkey. So you can see they're a little bit fiddly. I mean, it's not just slapping a piece of DSP and a sentiment on a card base, but really, if you get a production line going, it's not bad. And it's, like I said, a great way to use up these scraps. Should we do another Noel? Why not? It fits nicely. I love the script that's used on this one. It's fancy, but it's clean. Deviled eggs, yes. Just made a batch of hard-boiled eggs in my Instant Pot yesterday. Had some for breakfast. I'm sure some of them are going to wind up as egg mayonnaise or egg salad. Maybe deviled eggs. There we go. We'll do that, and then we'll figure out, I think I know what I'm going to do for my ribbon. We'll use some of this. Soft succulent, because it's in the Designer Series paper. Quite well. I'm seeing on my Facebook page, or seeing on Facebook, all kinds of friends are having family coming into town for the first time in a long time. That's nice. Lots of people here are looking forward to that for Christmas here. Had my first in-person class in a long time on Saturday. Oh, so nice. Actually, I had a couple people here on Wednesday as well at different times, but this one was more people. And it was just nice to have a house full of crafters again. Okay, that's what I have for you today. I'm gonna bring these in here. 3 versions of the same thing, using up scraps of, what is it, Tidings of Christmas Designer Series paper. And I hope you give this a try. They're, like I said, they're really quite easy to do, and I just hate the idea of wasting all of those offcuts of the paper. I am pleased that they are doing fewer of the papers in 6x6 because I do find it less good for card crafting. So, yeah, that's what I've got for today. Happy Thanksgiving to those who are celebrating. Happy summer soon here in Australia. Happy getting out and about and great vaccination rates. Coming up, we do have our new mini catalog. If you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, this goes live December 1st, and this is an awesome time to start with savings and join for $30 off the regular price to get a starter kit. Talk to me for more details on that. And also starting in January to the end of February is a new celebration with all kinds of great free items with qualifying purchase. I am happy to get you a copy of these catalogs and our annual catalog. If you're not working with a demonstrator in Australia, just drop me a note at nancysniftynotes.com, or there's a request button on the sidebar of my webpage at nancysniftynotes.com. And join me again next week for another project live on Facebook. Thanks for joining me today. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.